Now initially, they'll join up with some other New Hampshire regiments, fighting in the Battle of Bennington, winning the field at Bennington. Now these men are then sent back to Paulet, Vermont, which time they'll help the supply lines of the American Army. By September, fighting in Stillwater, New York, near Saratoga. Now, Benjamin Lincoln, he's a colonel from Massachusetts, and in September, he's given command of a little army of 2,000 militiamen, which includes these guys in Paulet, Vermont. From there, they'll be sent to divide, divert, and harass all the British regiments here at Ticonderoga, Mount Independence, across the lake, and down south, Skeensboro, present-day Whitehall, New York. Now he'll divide his men in 3 different sections. 500 of those men under Colonel John Brown, which includes John Warner's company. Those 500 men will come up Lake George. They'll capture British soldiers on the north end of Lake George, freeing 300 American POWs captured at the Battle of Hubbardton back in July of 1777. Then they'll keep pushing forward to the lowest falls of the Chute River. When the fog rolls through, they'll capture another detachment of British soldiers there, September 18th of 1777. They'll continue pushing on all the way up to the French lines, about a half mile to our northwest. From there, they continue all the way up here to this ground. They will raid here at Ticonderoga from September 18th all the way till September 23rd of 1777. They cannot take the fort. After that, on the 24th of September, they retreat to the north end of Lake George. They take captured boats from the British. They'll sail down Lake George and attack British regiments on Diamond Island at the south end of Lake George, where the entire British Army's pay chest is secured. Now this attack at Diamond Island on September 24th fails. John Brown and his 500 other men, including Warner's company, will go back down to Skeensboro. They'll then be sent over to Paulet. Now over a month later, a little less than a month, on October 17, 1777, General Burgoyne and his British Army will surrender at Saratoga. The reason being, Colonel John Brown's men here at Ticonderoga have cut any supply lines. They've divided, diverted, and harassed the supply lines here at Ticonderoga, leads to the eventual surrender of the entire British Army. And when that surrender happens, there's still British soldiers here at Ticonderoga. They get word that the main army has surrendered. They blow this fort up, and they go back into Canada. At which time, more of these Vermont militiamen are mustered again out of Paulet, Vermont, sent to chase that retreating army into Canada. Up in Essex, New York, on December 3rd, 1777, they'll capture 49 British soldiers. The remaining rest of the British Army goes back into Canada. This fort will fall to ruins. But it's these soldiers right here, successfully cutting supply lines at Ticonderoga, that will eventually lead to that surrender of the British Army, the winning of this campaign, and the alliance with the French. Campaigns for the rest of the war will shift south. No more fighting really occurs up here. The British come back in 1780, investigate the place, stay for a few months. Instead of rebuilding it, they destroy it again. And by the end of the war, this place is in ruins. Now these guys right here are going to field any questions you guys have about their uniforms, about their hats, their guns, what we're wearing, anything you want to know, the meaning of life, whatever it may be. Go ahead and ask these guys. So they'll disperse along the crowd. Go ahead, guys.